Okay. Today, y'all look at it. Y'all see it. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the title. We got Wet Toast. This is why Saitama versus Ichigo. It's in close. Let's see what your boy Toast talking about, bro. Like, I already know who. Y'all already know, man. Link and all gonna be down in the description and all that good stuff. But anyway, who y'all think gonna win this right here? Who y'all think gonna win this right here now? Y'all already know who I'm going with. I'm going with Saitama, of course. No, y'all already know I'm going with Saitama. Like, he One Punch Man, bro. That's his thing. That's his thing. You feel me? Now with Ichigo, I'm just a dude. Like, I enjoy Ichigo. I just watch Ichigo for my enjoyment, bro. But now, like, what I be seeing and hearing that people only say Ichigo only go by statements. They never seen Ichigo destroy like a planet or nothing like that, bro. I just be on the sideline watching, bro. Like, I think I posted that on my like, dang, like, I'm just saying, like, I could have sworn, like, that didn't mean though, bro. I'm just, have y'all ever seen Ichigo destroy the planet or anything? That's all I want to know. But yeah, let's get to this, man. Let's check this out, bro. Let's check this out.
Bleach is one of the many series that inspired several generations of manga yet to come, even in
now my acting up now, bro. Like, I only got one monitor, bro. I don't know what I gotta get a new motherboard. You know, my PC acting up, bro. I can't even use my other monitor and all that now. So yeah. I gotta get a new one. I can use my other one, but I just don't want to use my other one because I got all my new stuff on this one. But then I gotta transfer all that. That's just too much for me, man. But I might gonna have to do it.
In the present day, things like Jujutsu Kaisen, Kagurabachi, and Demon Slayer, it's definitely one of those rare shows you'll come to enjoy. With Ichigo Kurosaki being the main protagonist and starting as kind of a boy who gets lent his Soul Reaper powers and has a lot of potential to chapter 686, where he fights the son of the Soul King and the almighty Quincy, Yuha. Obviously, the power difference between Ichigo from the very beginning of Bleach and the final chapter is extremely significant. If you dropped Ichigo from his fight with Yuha into his fight with Fishbone the Hollow on the first episode of Bleach, he'd obviously one-tap him with pretty much fucking one punch.
Bro, I'm seeing like little black lines. I don't know. Do y'all see them? I don't know. I probably tripping.
Something less than that potentially. This is actually the idea that one had when creating the series known as One Punch Man, with the main premise of the story being, what if we made the protagonist strong from the start, never having to encounter the issues that someone like Naruto or Goku would have ever faced. Instead, at the very beginning, he has the power he would have had at the very end of the series, being able
to the max,
able to practically one-shot his opponents, save his friends, accomplish his goals, etc.
But not only that, he removed his limiter too. Put him to the max and also remove his limiter, bro. Let's just be real now.
Bro. I feel as though this idea is pretty interesting, seeing as how One Punch Man obviously isn't over yet, and he is an end.
Are these black hoes? Are these two black hoes? Let me stop. I know how y'all is. Oh, bro, stop, bro. There you go again, glazing, bro. God dog. Show me Ichigo can do something like this. Show me Ichigo can Ichigo do something like this.
Endgame level protagonist. I'm not even joking. That's literally.
I'm done.
And the Bleach anime is coming to an end sometime soon, and Ichigo is finally reaching that level of power after several years of his anime going live. And although One Punch Man isn't completed yet, in season 3,
One Punch Man is the next wave, bro. It is what it is. But yo, these the only thing that can pretty much put damage on Saitama. These things right here in his dream.
3 of the anime is confirmed to be in the works. I thought,
bro, y'all remember I asked y'all who on which studio should take this? Honestly, like I said, it don't matter to me. It between that other one that did Demon Slayer, or I ain't gonna hold you. I want Mappa, bro. I do want Mappa Studio to hit this up, bro. But that's just me though.
I thought it would be interesting to compare him to arguably the strongest character in the big 3.
We ready?
One thing I want to make absolutely clear before I even get into how these characters scale and how they stack up.
Now, like I said, I be hearing people be talking about Ichigo, Bleach only go by statements. So we might see him destroy something. I don't know.
Against each other. I want to preface that I'm not making this video, or really any video for that matter, to make fun of or even flame a series. Since a lot of people, anytime I even mention something they don't like about Saitama or even Ichigo, they typically immediately jump on the "you're biased" bandwagon.
Nah, that's how they do me too, man. That's how they do me every time I go against you. Already know. If Saitama going on anything, you know I'm going with Saitama, man. That he's One Punch Man, bro. His whole character, his goals, his dreams, everything. It's One Punch Man. But people are gonna say, "Oh man, bro, you biased, bro. You biased." But you know, that's them. They entitled.
Again, without actually saying why, the last time we went over Saitama,
they entitled, but it doesn't make it true.
Saitama was in my video where I discussed Saitama versus Gojo, and I pretty much just went over his entire fight with Garo and the scaling involved in said fight. The primary basis before that fight for actually scaling his power was supported by actual demonstrations within the series, which revolved around his fight with Lord Boros. This is where we actually get the first FTL scaling in the series, and it's that Boros possessed the capability to kick Saitama to the moon at the speed of light or even faster, according to Murata. I will get into his speed a lot more later on, so don't worry about it.
According
to statements in the webcomic, Boros had the potential to obliterate the entire planet's surface with his full power. In the anime and various data sources such as the One Punch Man Blu-rays and Compass Guide, there were indications that he could potentially even destroy entire stars. This inference was derived from the Compass Guide, which employed the same term for Boros' power as planet or star in the original Japanese version. However, it should be mentioned that the translator decided to translate Boros' limit broken form as star, implying that he might at least be stronger or possess distinct capabilities compared to his base form, in which there are guides saying that Boros' base form should actually be capable of destroying a planet. What's more is the fact that Saitama, with his serious punch, could effortlessly nullify Boros' star-destroying attack. However, we would actually see a lot more intricate scaling with the introduction of Cosmic Fear Garo, who manages to tap into Saitama's immense strength, and as a result, Garo engages in the largest fight in the series. The consequences of their clash prove to be so cataclysmic that Blast finds himself enlisting in the aid of interdimensional warriors to transport the aftermath deep into space, as the very fabric of the Earth teetered on the brink of annihilation. The immense scale of this clash becomes apparent as a colossal cluster of stars, conceivably even millions of them, ominously vanish in
stars and galaxies. You gotta remember, stars and galaxies, bro. Stars and galaxies.
The background. This pretty much just means that Saitama's potential to obliterate not only a multitude of solar systems or stars, but potentially entire galaxies is essentially questioned within this chapter. The implications of Saitama's power extend far beyond the destruction of numerous solar systems or even entire stars, as he continues to grow exponentially stronger over time, which suggests that not only does he eventually acquire the capability to
See, this right here what people be messing up at. People be saying he only grew cause of Gino. It was never stated due to the death of Gino. I don't know why people keep going with that though. His growth was unnoticed. They were going at it all the whole time unnoticed. His growth was going unnoticed, bro.
Effortlessly,
he's limitless.
Accomplish such feats without relying on the help of Garo, but if you actually take the graph at face value and see how far he's truly surpassed him, he's surpassed him by a significant margin. Say that you dropped this Saitama into pre-Blood War, he'd absolutely mop everyone in it without a question.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but yeah, he mopped everyone in this, including Ichigo, whole Bleach version. I'm not trying to be that guy, bro, but I'm just saying.
As Ichigo, or characters that scale to Ichigo, don't really have fates that compare to Saitama and Garo's clash. And really, we only get to that point.
And I still haven't seen Ichigo. I'm still trying to see when Ichigo destroyed the planet or something.
In the 1,000-year Blood War.
Like I said, I'm trying to get on the benefit of the doubt, man, because they say they only go by statements. That's all I be hearing. Always statements this. And I need to see like some type of something.
Introduction of the self-proclaimed strongest Sternritter. And probably the biggest feat up until that point, that I mentioned in several other Bleach videos, is Gremmy literally creating outer space with nothing but his own imagination. Now, several people will argue with their last leg that he didn't actually create it, but only created a portal, where even that is just objectively wrong. We're given the feat in the manga, and not only does it not state it's a portal in neither the anime or manga, but the light novels double down on it not actually being a portal, instead actual outer space being created. Now, you might be able to argue this is multi-solar system due to the anime not showing a galaxy or whatever, but the actual author's intent is still blatantly there, with the galaxy being shown in the manga, and the expanse that Grammy created literally being called outer space, which by definition is the physical universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. It's very clearly just portrayed in a different way to the manga, but just putting simple thoughts into it doesn't really disprove there being galaxies within it. This feat is actually far inferior to what Yuha, the son of the Soul King, does towards the end of Bleach, where he finally gets closer to his goal of destroying the Soul Society, World of the Living, as well as the Hueco Mundo. The Soul Society is stated to be two sides of the same coin in comparison to the World of the Living, which is on top of the other realms or dimensions like the Hueco Mundo, Soul Palace, Hell, etc., etc. And we're actually given direct answers to how these places are reached within the series, and it's through these gates because they're places that you can physically travel to, which also means they should be different spaces and not necessarily the same. And using the light novels, the Soul King holds the universal flow to these three realms. We know these realms aren't necessarily planet-sized due to the Soul Society holding all souls that ever existed or will exist eventually, which also just means that the term world is interchangeable with realms or just these dimensions. Not to mention there is actual celestial bodies and stars within the Soul Society, and it also wouldn't be consistent because if they were the size of the planet, it simply could not hold these souls within it. Which also means that the World of the Living and the Hueco Mundo being called a world doesn't necessarily mean it's just that, as even the Soul Society is called a world, but as we went over, it isn't just that. Now, going back to Yuha's whole plan, if the Soul Society does indeed get destroyed, the universal flow of everything else also gets destroyed, and by proxy makes this feat Universal Plus, due to it being almost like a domino effect type of thing. Think of something like, say, Buhan kind of just screaming away dimensions and like almost collapsing the universe. It's kind of similar to that. This is also consistent with the fact that the Hyogoku is described as a hyperspatial realm, where hyperspace refers to a dimension that goes beyond the three fundamental dimensions of length, width, and depth. The first movie is considered canon because it is depicted in the manga, and Kubo effectively presents it in the Can't Fear Your Own World light novel, which is canon, and Ichigo is capable of destroying it. Ichigo also scales to Yuha, as we even see Yuha break Tensa's Zangetsu in the future, implying that he even saw Ichigo just running his pockets, qualifying Ichigo for 4th dimensional or Universal Plus levels of power. Saitama, on the other,
I am a simple person. I haven't seen not one nothing been destroyed. Like I said, I get them benefit of the doubt. Those was a lot of statements. Like I'm just going, hey, those was a lot of statements. I'm just saying, I haven't seen not one thing been destroyed.
Other hand, at least using certain scans can potentially have infinite strength if you use things like this scan.
Oh, good. Bro, people be messing this up. This is infinite strength. Y'all saw it when I posted it on my community tab. Infinite strength. On top of that, he removed his limiter. Bro, it's One Punch Man.
Scan where he's clearly displayed to have infinite strength. I want to make this absolutely clear before I keep going. I will grant Saitama this scan in whole.
Bro, you ain't got a choice. This is official from what that website is, like one of them. This is the official. His thing, their thing. You ain't got a choice but to grant that. That's not no grant. It's automatically.
Even though there are many things I can argue for this, like hyperbole, etc., etc.
But people don't understand this infinite, bro. They be. It's like, I don't want to get into that though. But it's many
due
different.
to him growing from infinity and clearly having finite power.
See, it's
and contradicting his own limitless statements and blah 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 blah. I will just give him the infinite strength stat, as I don't want to make it even seem like I'm down.
Give him the infinite strength, and plus on top of that, remove his limiter with that. I'm saying, and his rate of growth and all that stuff is completely unnoticed.
downplaying him at all, and I will just give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, what does infinite strength mean exactly?
Infinite strength mean infinite strength, but people be trying to put him on a 3D, on that little 3D I be like, you entitled? Y'all are entitled, but okay, you entitled though, but that's not nah.
Now, we went over how Saitama and Garo's fight was even stated that they were attacking in the third dimension.
Yeah, see they right here. 3D. This cosmic. Gar was talking all that.
Now, having infinite 3D power
is Tommy saying he can do it too. Say Tommy's literally infinite. He can go. They literally put him on a limit. Well, he only being like 3D. Like 3D. Like, bro, he is literally infinite, limitless. He can go 3D all the way on up. I just don't. I don't see how it's not that. It's that common sense.
Really anything when the person you're fighting has fourth dimensional power. For example, imagine we live in a world with only 3 dimensions, length, width, and height. In this world,
limitless.
We can measure things and describe their positions using 3 coordinates.
And he's a GAD character. Y'all know I posted. He's a GAD character. Let's go with that.
Would be X, Y, and Z. Now let's imagine a hypothetical 4th dimension called W is added. This 4th dimension would give objects an extra degree of freedom, allowing them to move or exist in ways that are beyond our current understanding. In the 3-dimensional world, we can think of the most powerful thing as having infinite power. It's like being the strongest and most influential within that 3-dimensional framework. However, if we introduce a 4th dimension, which is W, it opens up a whole new level of possibilities. Objects or entities that exist or operate in the 4th dimension would have access to a greater degree of freedom and potential that goes beyond our current understanding. So when we compare infinite power in the 3-dimensional world to what could exist in the 4th dimensional world, the power in the 4th dimension is always going to be infinitely greater. So meaning that even if you took the infinite strength Saitama scan at face value and said that he had infinite strength, he's still infinitely weaker, being high universal, whereas the likes of Ichigo...
I can say the same with Ichigo then, man. Come on now, stop.
An attack on a...
I can say the same thing with Ichigo, and like I haven't seen Ichigo destroy a planet or showing. I still haven't seen no scan of Ichigo destroying a planet or none of that. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
At face what could exist in the 4th dimensional world, the power in the 4th dimension is always going to be infinitely greater. So meaning that even if you took the infinite strength Saitama scan at face value and said that he had infinite strength,
he does.
He's still infinitely weaker, being high universal, whereas...
Like I said, I still can say the same with Ichigo, bro. I can say that the same way until I see Ichigo destroy some planet or stars or galaxies or something. Then yeah.
The likes of Ichigo.
I've been telling them people, Ichigo, I like Ichigo, but Ichigo is not that guy, bro.
Can attack on a 4th dimensional level in his Universal Plus due to reasons I mentioned earlier. So for actually scaling Ichigo's speed, there's several metas, and the main one I'm going to be using is through his multipliers. In the Can't Fear Your Own World storyline, Hikone possesses such incredible speed that time seems to come to a halt.
Yeah, there's a lot of statements. Like I said, I see it, man. But like, I'm trying to give people benefit of the doubt, but yeah, the statements are crazy.
During his confrontation with Kenny at the replicated Ryoka Palace, Hikone shines like a star. Even Grimmjow, who is known for his lightning-fast movements in his normal form, was unable to react to Hikone's speed while in the Kyogoku. It's worth noting that...
I ain't gonna hold you. That's a hard drawing right there. I don't know why I like this drawing part. This is hard right here to me.
Grimmjow's base form is said to move at the speed of lightning, and when Grimmjow enters his resurrection state, he gains a 10-fold power increase, which is evident from his ability to match Ichigo while the latter is in Bankai, and overpower a hollow mask wearing Ichigo.
Like he is invincible. And that what Saitama is?
In his resurrection state, the hollow mask not only enhances the power of Bankai, but also boosts Ryoku's speed, offense, defense, and spiritual power. All aspects are improved when wearing the mask itself. These Seros within the Can't Fear Your Own World light novels are stated to be beams of light, and referred to as light in several guides. Even Uryu, who is capable of moving faster than his own shadow within the Soul Society arc, is calculated to be around relativistic plus, which Ichigo would scale to. Keep in mind, this feat is pretty much just equivalent to that of Saitama being able to see his own reflection, if not slightly less impressive than Saitama's feat. The same Ichigo would later then get blitzed by Byakuya. If we go by how fast you actually have to be to blitz someone, it'd be around 2 times at the very least. Whereas from this distance in the manga, it's been calculated to be around 7 times faster range. Byakuya then used his Bankai, which is stated to be a 10 times amp to all fighting stats, making him several times faster than that of Ichigo, who is relativistic, or about 1.5 times faster than light. Ichigo then uses his Bankai and speed blitzed that of Byakuya. If we actually use our lowballed speed calc, which is 2 times, then Ichigo would be 3 times faster than light, whereas if we use our 7 times calc, he should at least be 10 times faster than light. To which Ichigo uses his Hollow Mask, which is stated to be greater than the multiplier of Bankai. Using this statement, we can either assume it's a 20 times amp as a high ball to an 11 times amp as a low ball, meaning that this should at the very least be 110 times faster than light. Ulquiorra is capable of blitzing Bankai Ichigo, and is then shown being able to fight on par with Vizard Ichigo, who should at the very least be 110 times faster than light, which we can also scale Ulquiorra to. Ulquiorra then uses his release state, which is equivalent to that of Bankai, which is a 10 times amp on top of his already Bankai rivaling power, meaning that at this point, he should at least be 1,100 times the speed of light, or massively faster than light. Ulquiorra also uses a second resurrection, which we can assume to be a 2 times amp. Ichigo then unlocks Vasta Lorde and speed blitzes that of Ulquiorra, which we can now use 2 interpretations for this, which is either to assume Ichigo is now twice as fast as Ulquiorra, or 7 times via the calc. Going by the low ball, he should at the very least be 2 times his speed, meaning that we can now place Vasta Lorde Ichigo firmly in that 4,400 times faster than light, or MFTL plus ranges. Ichigo has the potential to receive a
Bro, this is a lot of wanking, or Ichigo not gonna hold you. Okay. Let go. God, the wank on this one is crazy.
Significant power boost known as Surpass Yami, who was previously the strongest Arankar. By combining his Bankai with the Hollow Mask, Ichigo becomes much stronger than Ulquiorra in his second release form. It could be inferred that Ichigo has reached a level comparable to his Vasta Lorde form, as indicated by his markings on the mask, resembling those of his Vasta Lorde mask, and his substantial increase in power. Subsequently, Aizen attains a transcendent state that surpasses all Soul Reapers and Hollows at the time, including Vasta Lorde Ichigo, as his Ryatsu cannot be sensed by others while Ichigo's can. This is further evidenced by Aizen swiftly overpowering a combination of Bankai and Hollow Mask wielding Ichigo, who we previously concluded to be on par with or even superior to Vasta Lorde's state. Aizen then gets speed blitzed by Ichigo, which we're assuming is a 2 times difference, which would mean that Ichigo by this point should be 17,600 times faster than light. Ichigo is then capable of using Bankai Fullbringer, meaning that it's once again a 10 times amp off his aforementioned speed, or 176,000 times faster than light. True Shikai Ichigo is stronger than any previous form of Ichigo, which we might be able to say it's twice as strong, whereas he's obviously far beyond that, but we're lowballing a bit here, meaning that
Bro, wanking the crap out of Ichigo speed, bro.
we can probably say he's 352,000 times faster than light. Ichigo can then utilize his Hollowification, which is a relative amp to that of Bankai, which is 10 times off his previous speed, where he's then capable of stacking Bankai on top of this, which gives a crazy amount of 35 million times faster than light, just via multipliers. And in his fight with Yuha, his Bankai breaks and becomes his normal Zangetsu, meaning that it should be applicable to base Shikai Ichigo at this time, which is consistent because he's able to one-tap Yuha in his base form, in the same way he could in Bankai, which we actually see it does remain his Shikai release, as we literally see his Shohakusho being the same. For Saitama speed, his is...
Bro, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot.
Mainly via calcs, which I will link in the description. I do think these calcs are reliable. King's height is approximately 1.87 meters, or 17 pixels in the...
Nah, wait, I could have sworn I had posted it on Whatchcollar on that thing when they did the interviews, and Whatchcollar said, what is, do Saitama have any, like, anything, is Saitama good at anything? And one, he said, Saitama specializing in running. He specializes in running. Like other sport, he suck at. That's what he's saying. But in running, he specializes in running. So I'm just saying. I'm just going my way. Bro, y'all just gotta look it up, man. God no.
The manga, Garo's distance traveled within 1/5 of a total time frame. Based on these calculations, the speed is estimated to be approximately 78,769,841,825 meters per second, or roughly 262.7 times faster than light. During Saitama's fight with Garo, he's shown creating an entire light constellation on the Jupiter's moon of Io. The calc for this is around MFTL plus via Garo fighting Platinum S within this time frame, and using the fact that the shockwaves are frozen in time, you can actually get this speed to 275,125 times faster than light, or MFTL plus, and
MFTL plus 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 plus.
Due to his dramatic increases in speed, he's likely several times faster than this, depending on the amps that he's given every time he adapts. Speed,
he be growing unnoticed, bro.
Likely several times faster than this, depending on the amps that he's given every time he adapts. Which, if we use this specific scan and say that
he's immeasurable,
he was growing twice as strong.
Saitama is immeasurable, bro.
Pretty consistent due to how his growth is shown and displayed on the panel, which gets us to that levels of speed relative to that of Ichigo. I could keep going, but it really isn't necessary. I won't be going over the immeasurable speed meta as I've covered it already in Saitama vs Gojo, and I gave it a pretty thorough look, so if you want me to expand on that meta, consider watching it, as well as Goku vs Saitama if you're interested as well. So in terms of speed, they should at the very least be relative to one another, meaning that I'm interested as well. So in that meta, consider watching it, as well as Goku vs Saitama if
y'all already know who I went with. You're
interested as well. So in terms of speed, they should at the very least be relative to one another, meaning that unless Saitama grows, there really won't be a speed difference, if anything.
Saitama's still gonna keep on growing, bro.
Speaking of Saitama's growth, you might be wondering how that actually plays out in the fight itself. Not only is it verbatim stated that the growing phenomenon is only happening due to his intense emotions, at least on
people be getting it messed up. People be thinking, oh, he only grew cause due to state cause genome delta and stuff.
This scale, I'm not saying Saitama doesn't only grow due to these circumstances.
Saitama was growing while they were still fighting, you know. Hey, let me just hear on my.
But it's only shown to.
Then, what y'all say? He immeasurable. Like immeasurable and all that stuff.
Be on this level due to his emotions from Genos' supposed death.
It would never state it due to the death.
Meaning that not only would Saitama not grow to this extent using out-of-character traits, but in character there's no reason for him to grow. Not to mention, Ichigo's Bankai broke and became his base Zangetsu for him to grow. Using out-of-character traits, but in character there's no reason for him to grow. Not to mention, Ichigo's Bankai broke and became his base Zangetsu, meaning that any prior multipliers mentioned during the Ichigo portion is applicable, meaning that he would only be able to contend with Saitama's growth via multipliers if Saitama grew at all, which he wouldn't.
Did bro just say Saitama wouldn't grow?
Saitama's growth via multipliers if Saitama grew at all, which he wouldn't.
Sir? This gotta be trolling.
The gag argument for Saitama has been something since the glory days of the series, with pretty much no one actually being able to prove Saitama's skills over another character. So they immediately jump on the gag bandwagon in order to actually make a point, unknowingly using the statement blindlessly, pretty much. These people will usually argue things like his gag means he will always have a higher AP than his opponent, and take it as objective proof that Saitama actually wins. Now, the main issue with saying Saitama is a gag, and then following with said statements from one claiming he's a gag, is the fact
he's a gag. Dude broke the what? Well, some people saying I break the fourth wall, or some people saying break the third wall, or whatever. Like, yo, I just say he breaking the wall now. he on that type of level.
That it doesn't necessarily apply outside of his own verse. And he's a gag is the fact that it doesn't necessarily apply outside of his own verse. And to make such a claim that this gag does apply outside of the One Punch Man verse would mean that you would face the burden of proof in the Hitchin's Razor when it comes to the gag applying outside said verse. meaning that to say his gag means automatic win for Saitama results in you making a worthless point as
my boy. So just take his character out. Just downplay his character.
You cannot prove it. Let's take another gag character like Arale, for example, who is from the gag manga called Dr. Slump. Now, even for someone like Arale, her gag wouldn't necessarily apply outside of her verse, as well as the Dragon Ball verse. Due to her
bro, I had said I said who will win in a battle like this
not
between
being shown using her gag-like abilities outside her own verse, as well as the Dragon Ball
W Kid Vegeta
verse. And even that is because
I'm trying to see
both series are both licensed by Akira Toriyama, meaning that the character and the versus rules will only apply to licensed by Dragon Ball. One like Arale, for example, this point as you cannot prove it. Let's take another.
Bro, I said who will win in a match like this between say Tommy and her, bro. People like I see this how I see this how I was saying it between these two. She's is very annoying. She's so annoying when I first saw her, man. Like, bro, this little thing is annoying. So I feel how this gonna go out is she gonna aggravate say Tommy to death. She is gonna aggravate him to death. That's why she's gonna follow him everywhere to the stove. Just keep yapping non-stop. Just non-stop. Just keep on yapping. Like, go away. Just go away. That's how I see she win. Now when it comes to say Tommy winning, she gonna follow say Tommy. Keep on yapping. Yap until she see Rover and with that black sperm. And she want to ask say Tommy, can I take them on an adventure with me or something like that? You know, it gotta be funny and stuff, man. Like, it gotta be funny and stuff, man. I look at their characters, bro, and like say Tommy probably say, yeah, sure, go ahead, and they're gonna make say Tommy a winner. You know what I'm saying? I just look at it. I look at it different. How other folks look at it.
Another gag character like Arale, for example, who is from the gag manga called Dr. Slump. Now, even for someone like Arale, her gag wouldn't necessarily apply outside of her verse, as well as the Dragon Ball verse, due to her not being shown using her gag-like abilities outside her own verse, as well as the Dragon Ball verse. And even that is because both series are both licensed by Akira Toriyama, meaning that the character and the verse's rules will only apply to said things, and not every character and verse. And because
some people just don't read the web comment.
One, the author of One Punch Man, does not apply to Bleach or any other verse, except for like Mob Psycho. Saitama cannot one-punch characters who exist in Bleach, and to say that he can indeed pull up on someone like Ichigo or Yuha and just one-punch them.
That his power, bro. That's his strength. It doesn't matter, bro. Saitama just gonna one-punch him.
Would result in the commission of a no limits fallacy and result in
Saitama don't even have a limit. He removed his limit. That's a no limit fallacy.
Having to prove an impossible burden. Hopefully this actually clears a lot of stuff up, and I want you to know that this isn't necessarily applied to just Saitama, but would pretty much just apply to every gag character out there. Everything aside, it's probably not the best thing to compare Saitama to Bleach or many other series like Dragon Ball, for example.
Yeah, I feel like no one need to put Saitama in a versus battle code. Like I say, Saitama always win, and Saitama is literally gonna make your favorite characters look like a joke.
There's a significant difference in scaling in One Punch Man and Bleach, and it's something that's always been there for quite some time. But while we're on the topic, who do you want to see Saitama fight next? Is there a specific matchup you want to see that involves Saitama, or maybe even Ichigo? If you have some ideas, let me know in the comment section. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy the video, be sure to like and subscribe, as it helps me a lot. And it's free, and you can always undo it at a later time. And bye.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. Yeah, bro. Like I said, hey, y'all can agree with it if y'all want to or not, bro. Like I said, I'm always going to say Tommy. But you already know. Link up in the description.